Eh kung may mga laman mga bulsa nun, may baril yun. Porkit ba mga foreigners to, foreign nationals to, hindi nyo pinifrisk?
Tanggalan nyo sila ng counter. Bigay nyo sa ibang airline.
Yes,
Please
ma'am.
tell the airlines to fill their counters with representatives.
Alam nyo, hindi na naalis yung kontrobersiya sa ating airport. Nung panahon ni Pinoy, nandyan yung tanimbala. Noong 2020, nandyan yung Pastilla Scheme. At ngayon naman, may human smuggling, may bukas maleta na nangyayari dyan sa ating Premier Airport. Nais ko lang tanungin dito sa General Manager ng Naia. Meron na ba kayo mga reforma o mga inisyatibo na ginawa para ma-improve ang ating airport?
Mr. Chair, good morning po. Meron man no tayong mga initiatives, sir. The first one is yung sa baggage po.
I adverted to a life imprisonment for Mr. Pinpin for Article 177, 6 years. But for Republic Act 10364, ito yung human trafficking, you can have life imprisonment. So this is a special law plus 500,000 to 5 million in fine. So let that correction be reflected in the Records Committee, Secretary. Senator Grace po, before you arrived, Senator Jingo Estrada was raising his hand.
Thank you.
Senator Estrada is now recognized.
Thank you, Senator Francis. Good morning, Mr. Chair, fellow members of this committee, and to our resource persons from our different government agencies. Alam nyo, hindi na naalis yung kontrobersiya sa ating airport. Nung panahon ni Pinoy, nandyan yung tanimbala. Noong 2020, nandyan yung Pastilla Scheme. At ngayon naman, may human smuggling, may bukas maleta na nangyayari dyan sa ating Premier Airport. Nais ko lang tanungin dito sa General Manager ng Naia. Meron na ba kayo mga reforma o mga inisyatibo na ginawa para ma-improve ang ating airport?
Mr. Chair, good morning po. Meron man no tayong mga initiatives, sir. The first one is yung sa baggage po. Ini-implement ho natin yung body cameras sa lahat po ng mga nasa baggage makeup area. Tapos no packets and no cellphone policies. Implemented ho yan since 2007. Nire-implement lang po namin ngayon. Tapos, yung mga CCTVs po natin, pinapaayos po natin mabuti para pag may mga issues po, madali pong makita. So, may mga initiatives din naman, sir, na ginagawa ang NAIA. Tapos, nag-report din po kami kay Senator Grace po tungkol po dun sa bukas maleta gang or bukas maleta issues na kinaklarify lang po namin kung ano po yung mga reports na napapadala sa amin. Tapos, ang isa pong issue talaga, yung mga nagrereklamo po, hindi ho nagpa-file ng incidents or reports in a timely fashion. Kaya hindi ho namin ma-actionan kagad kasi 30 days lang po yung CCTV namin ngayon. So, yun po yung mga initiatives namin, sir, Senator.
Alam mo, minsan bumiyahe ako at nung pumasok ako sa Terminal 1 ng airport natin, napansin ko wala na yung mga x-ray machines pang-inspection ng mga bagahe. Bakit niya tinanggal?
Sir, we're just following po international best practices po kasi sa lahat po ng airports, tayo lang po ang nagpapa-x-ray ng mga pasahero just to enter the terminal. Pag punta po tayo sa ibang airports, passengers are not subjected to an initial security screening. Pero meron naman ho tayong mga mitigation doon. Meron tayong mga profilers, we have guards, and then we check naman po the passengers for their boarding passes or their identification before they enter the terminal. Kasi po yung check-in baggage po, meron po tayong tinatawag na inline screening sa baba. So yun po ang chine-check ng mga bagahe. And then for the passengers naman po, for their hand-carried baggage, they're actually check sa final security screening because under ICAO security rules po, it's really the final security screening that is required. So even in Singapore po, pumasok po kayo sa airports, hindi po pinapacheck yung mga pasahero. Actually, the passengers are checked just before they board the flight. So what we're doing, Mr. Senator, is really just adapting to international best practices. Yun po ang ginagawa namin sa Naia ngayon.
Alright, thank you. Mabalik tayo rin sa issue ng human smuggling. Uh, what is the status of your investigation?
Sir, on the part of MIAA po, meron po kaming yung mga guards po na hindi nakapag-check dun sa mga pumasok. So uh, the airport police na kasama po dito are being filed for violation of the rules and regulation po, yung dalawang police, airport police. Yung mga ABSEC personnel po, tinanggal na ho namin. Yung hindi ho nag-check ng mga pasahero, tinanggal na ho namin yon. Pati ho yung agency po nila for possible liquidated damages. So yun po ang ginawa namin, sir, on the part of MIAA.
Sino itong mga taong to?
Sir,
Sino,
naalala
have you
niyo-
filed cases against them?
naalala niyo po yung tinanong mo sa amin during the last hearing na bakit hindi na-inspect yung pagpasok ng mga passengers.
Correct.
So yun po yung pina-investigate ho namin. So yun ho pina-file namin ho ng violation of our rules and regulations. So dalawa po yon sa airport police tsaka yun po mga aviation security.
Mr. Pinpin,
Before, with the indulgence
Yeah,
of Senator Estrada, may nabanggit po kayo, sumusunod tayo sa international standards, di ba? Pero lumalabas po sa records namin, based on research, dadalawa na lang po ang bansa na walang general aviation terminal, Philippines and Vietnam. So, paano tayo naging sumusunod?
That's why, sir, during our discussion with the different agencies, magkakaroon na po tayo ng one-stop shop for international flights po. We met with all the different government agencies po, like customs, immigration, quarantine, PNP, ABCU. Nag-usap na po kami kung paano po ma-establish yung one-stop shop po.
The operational?
That's actually what we're going to, sir, we already submitted to all these agencies, the
Who will decide?
procedures.
Who will decide? The OTR?
Hindi ha, kami po sa MIAA.
Can you
We
provide
just-
this committee a copy of that template para
Sure, sir.
advise din kami? Senator Estrada, you have the floor.
Yes, sir.
thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Pinpin, nasa BID ka?
Yes, yes, Your Honor po.
Kasi wala ako kanina nung tinanong ni Senator Francis, ano ginagawa mo doon? Hindi ka naman duty.
Sir, I was there during that time. I was the previously Deputy Chief for monitoring po ng Port Operations Division, sir.
Oh, yeah, what were you doing there at that time?
Ah.
You were not on duty. Am I correct?
Sir, during that time, naka-duty po ako sa Terminal 3.
Okay. You were already relieved. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. As stated earlier, I erroneously
I what?
I
Erroneously?
I was erroneously I was in the assumption na habang hindi pa po ako nakakapag assume dun sa bagong office ko sa Regional Intelligence Office, I was still the then Deputy Chief for monitoring po ng Port Operations Division, sir.
You decided on your own?
Sir, nung nandun po kasi ako, I was yung nagte-turnover na po ako. During that time, sir, wala pa po akong kapalit noon. I was in the assumption na I was still functioning po yung duties and responsibilities ko as the Deputy Chief for monitoring po, sir.
That's why you decided on your own.
Yes, sir po. Yes, Your Honor po.
Sige na. That's it.
Estrada. Senator Grace po is now recognized. The one who delivered the privilege speech.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for giving us an opportunity to hear this a second time. I guess the basic question is, bakit dalawa yung CIQ clearance na pinirmahan? Yung isa, kay Mark Anthony Flores ang nakapirma, yung isa naman si Glenn Uban. Paki-explain po, ano nangyari dito?
Attorney Tansinko,
Good morning, Senator. The first CIQ clearance, Your Honor, signed by Mark Anthony Flores, was the advanced CIQ for tower clearance. This is not yet the CIQ clearance issued during the actual departure of the aircraft. Before the CAAP issues the clearance of the particular flight, it is also a requirement that an advanced CIQ be submitted by the charterer or the handler. So, as far as immigration is concerned, the advanced immigration clearance for purposes of securing the tower clearance was signed by Mr. Flores. This was issued before the arrival of this particular special flight.
So sir, talagang ganon yung SOP. Dalawa. First to secure clearance from CAAP, and then the second one is from what is it for?
The advanced CIQ, Your Honor, is for the tower clearance. Then there's another CIQ report during the actual departure or arrival of the aircraft.
Okay, so ganyan yung expectation. Pagka ikaw ay general aviation, you need to get 2 of those clearances for international flights.
That's the process, Your Honor.
Okay, so the real question I suppose is, bakit hindi niyo pinayagan mag-take off yung eroplano kung talagang kailangan din mag-sign off ang PNP dito? Sinong nagbigay ng clearance na mag-take off na kayo kahit hindi pa kumpleto yung signatures?
As far as immigration, Your Honor, is concerned, we have already cleared the passengers for departure. It's not the jurisdiction of immigration to clear the aircraft.
Okay, so whose jurisdiction would that fall into?
That would be for aviation security, Your Honor.
Correct. So, the aviation security, can you answer that question? Di ba dapat may pirma dyan? Quarantine, immigration, PNP.
With answer, Colonel, sino sa aviation? Wala na si General Abirin dito.
Colonel Campos, sir. Good morning, sir.
Sino po?
Colonel Campos, sir.
Colonel Campo.
Yes, sir. As indicated in the aviation security program or airport security program of MIAA, the aviation security unit flight inspectors will be the one to issue the exit clearance, but should be given to the AMS or the AOO operation officer of Naia or MIAA. Based on the
Ano po yung AOO? Sabi nga.
airport operations officer, sir.
So, sino yon? Sinong assigned that
Sa
night?
MIAA po yun, sir.
Sino nga yung assigned that night?
A certain Randy Dumpit, sir, during that time. And here,
So is he even aware that there are deficiencies in the clearance? Was he
actually, ma'am,
contacted?
actually, ma'am, during that night, that's why I called CAAP to General Robles. The officers supposedly must be there based on their memorandum
Which
circular.
officer? Which officer? Si Randy?
Ito pong AOO, ma'am.
So,
Sila
sino
po
nga yung-
nakakaalam, ma'am, si MIAA, who are the personnel
so
assigned to their
Mr. Chong, sino po yung dapat nandun noon?
Ma'am, under the procedures po ng MIAA for special flights, yung airport operations officer po yung magki-clear. And then, during our investigation, we found out that he signed the clearance and he was not there.
Okay, where is
So-
he now? Is he here?
No, ma'am. But he's also part of the filing of the charges po sa MIAA for violating our procedures.
Yun nga eh. What is his name again?
Randy Dumpit po.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's a good thing that you're acting on this. And when can we? That's a clear violation. I
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
think it will take a long deliberation for you to determine that. So after finding out, for example, now that he has violated certain protocols, what is your recourse?
First of all, ma'am, is there's going to be investigation and then
Oh, you said that already.
Yeah,
So
and
kung
then-
kanya guilty nga siya, ano pong mangyayari?
kailangan tanggalin ho siya, ma'am.
Okay. So we will follow up on that.
Yes,
Kasi
ma'am.
hindi magandang president yan na parang, o sige, may blank na dyan. Para ka nagpumirma ng blanco na cheque, di ba? So, pwede din sabihin kakutsaba siya ng proseso. Sa tingin ko, hindi yan pipirma na wala yan makukuha, di ba? Yung isa naman po na tatanungin ko, yung mga CCTV, di ba? Dun sa rampa na yon walang CCTV. Kasi nga, di ba, nag-usap tayo sa opisina and I appreciate that you're giving me an update regularly. Hindi ganyan yung mga dating GM ng airport. So, I'd like to know, yung mga CCTV camera, sabi mo napakarami na in-install during the last administration, di ba? Ilan yung in-install last time?
1,661,
Okay, ano
ma'am.
nangyari? Ba't hindi gumagana?
Yun po yung napag-alaman nga namin na yung lahat po nung nasa labas na CCTVs are not working
Why is that?
because it was designed for solar power pero hindi ho gumagana.
So, solar, syempre pag gabi, they'll use up its power na, di ba?
Yes.
Pagka bandang mga alauna na siguro, hindi na yung gumagana.
So yun ho ang tinatrack ho namin ngayon, bakit ganun po yung design. Pero ang ginawa ho namin after this incident, nag-tap na ho kami diretso sa power. So all the entrance, exit gates ngayon sa Naia, meron na ho tayo, pero not using the design. And one of the items that we're working right now is, since hindi ho siya, 2019 nag-start yung project, baka 97% pa ho sila, pero hindi pa ho namin nababayaran yung last portion because we were asking precisely why the design was like that. So yun po yung isang issue na tinatakal namin ngayon sa
Actually,
MIA.
mabilis yung naging action ninyo. Nagulat nga ako na after a few days, sabi nyo, meron ng mga CCTV. Yung pala may existing, you just had to wire it para meron talagang definite source of power, hindi lang solar.
That's correct, Miss.
So it's working now.
It's working, ma'am.
Okay.
Pero we're still working on the other areas, ma'am, because that's 400 plus CCTVs for the whole complex. So, but as much as possible, we're really trying our best to power up all those CCTVs.
O sabihin mo dun sa supplier na yon, hindi gumagana ang solar ninyo. So kayo magbayad nitong rewiring na to or at least take it out from your final payment.
That's one
I
of the things we're discussing, Madam Senator.
I mean, going green is important, but it also has to be effective, di ba? And operational. Si Mr. Pinpin, kayo po ay na-relieve na sa trabaho dun sa official position na yun nung araw na yun, hindi ba? Sabi ninyo.
Yes, ma'am. I received my personal order on February 9 po.
Okay. Commissioner Tansingco, bakit po siya nalipat ng ibang posisyon? Ba't siya na-relieve of that?
It was
Role.
upon Mr. Pinpin's request, Your Honor, due to health reasons. And it was endorsed by his immediate superior and also concurred in by the chief of the office where he was to be transferred.
Okay. So what is that new position again? Intelligence? What is it?
He's transferred to the Region 4 Intelligence Office of the Bureau of Immigration.
So, as a Region 4 Intelligence Officer, what is his role? Mag-i-inspection din siya, di ba?
He's not the head, Your Honor, of that office. He is part of the staff.
So is it a demotion?
Not only as to the assignment, Your Honor, but his position is still the same. His plantilla position.
So it was actually his request to be transferred.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, but in light of the situation of what could be interpreted as highly irregular, okay, his actions, he's been relieved, but he's still there. Are you doing your own investigation and will you have recommendations as to probably a reprimand or, I don't know, what, I guess. I was trying to be a little bit more diplomatic, but what consequence do you see happening here?
As a result of this incident, Your Honors, I relieved him also from his assignment at the Region 4 Intelligence Office. He is now assigned at the administrative division of the main office.
So, ibig sabihin, floating siya.
We can say that, Your Honor, pending the result of the administrative investigation, which is now submitted for resolution by the Board of Discipline, whether he will be formally charged or not.
Dalawa na yan, nakikita natin yung report mula kay GM Chong dun sa naka-assign nung gabi na yon na dapat magbigay ng final clearance. Tapos yung sa inyo po, dito kay Mr. Pinpin. Actually, it's nothing personal to you guys, ha? It's also the institution that you are supposed to have been protecting. Because if nobody is liable here, kung hindi kayo makakasuhan, mas lalong lalakas ang loob ng mga iba na gumawa ng mga bagay na hindi nila dapat ginawa or gawin. So, ito ay trabaho namin na talagang matunton kung sino dapat ang managot dito. Ngayon, pangalawa, Attorney Tansinko, alam naman natin yung napapabalita. Meron tayong mga overly enthusiastic immigration officers na kung ano-ano yung mga tinatanong, ano-ano yung mga dokumentong hinihingi. Ewan ko kung yung immigration officer na yon, napagtripan lang yung isang pasahero, kaya hiningan ng yearbook o graduation photos. Ridiculous. So, I know that you've already briefed them and told them what the necessary documents that may be presented. We're trying to avoid human trafficking, but this is obviously frivolous. So, have you briefed your immigration officers, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. Upon notice or information of that particular event, I immediately called the concerned immigration officer and transferred him already from the airport to in our office in SM North, EDSA. But
Bakit daw niya ginawa yan? Tinanong ba ninyo?
he denied, Your Honor, that he asked for a yearbook. And
So what did he, because clearly this woman was 8 hours ahead of her flight schedule in the airport. So ewan ko mahapon. So number one, it shows a failure of maybe the airport to be able to facilitate a quick inspection and compliance. And number two, immigration may not have had enough officers also deployed at the time. And number three, maybe the questioning. So, pwede mahingi ba yung CCTV nun? Kung gaano siya katagal doon sa actual immigration officer? Kasi it's her word against his. But then, clearly, ang hirap imbentohin nung storya na yon. So, kung may CCTV doon, malalaman if unusually matagal siya doon sa booth na yon. So, GM Chong, baka pwedeng mahanap yung insidente na yon.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Kasi baka nakursunadahan lang niya yung pasahero eh.
yes, Your Honor, as far for our part, we have also a CCTV camera at the immigration area. We're trying to retrieve also the recording, considering that it happened December 22, 2022.
Nako,
Just like
wala
Mia,
yan sa
our
airport.
limitation is on the period of the recording. We only have also 30 days recording
Alam mo, dapat
capacity.
talaga may information campaign tayo sa mga pasahero. Kung may irregularidad, dapat less than 30 days i-report na nila. Pero anyway, sir, this is also a personal request because I've been hearing some suggestions that yung shift ninyo na every whatever, dapat yon ma-customize based on the number of arrivals and departures para naman hindi nagsisiksikan din doon sa immigration. So, damihan po ninyo yung mga immigration officers. Yung mga nasa desk na wala namang kaso, baka pwede ninyong ilagay doon sa actual immigration.
Actually, Your Honor, we are already in the process of implementing some reforms because of what happened with this particular passenger. Starting today, we have retraining of our supervisors. And we will be conducting also packet trainings while at the airport. Then we are reviewing also the shifting schedule of our immigration officer, so much so that in case of peak hours, we have 100% capacity in our counters in coordination also.
Wala na natin alam yung mga peak hours na yan eh. Baka naman pwedeng i-expedite na. Kasi pag study, tayo allergic tayo sa we will study. Kasi minsan it will take forever. So perhaps in the meantime, let's just be more generous with the number of people. Hindi mo makakasama yun eh. Ang mahirap yung kulang, di ba? O parang pagkain lang yan. Mas okay nang sumobra kesa magkulang.
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, last week, I already requested for the designation of some of our regular employees as acting immigration officers so they can be deployed also as to the counters. And this coming Holy Week, we will direct main office assigned immigration officers to render airport duties to augment as we are expecting a surge of passengers during, before, during, and after Holy Week. We have already coordinated with Naia. We are talking on the transfer of some flights from Terminal 3 to Terminal 1 so we can avoid the congestion. Mr. Chong can hopefully explain more on this matter.
Yes, Mr. Chong.
Yes, ma'am. There are three main items that we're looking at. The first one is to make Terminal 2 all domestic. Terminal 2 was really designed for domestic operations. So,
Sir, I'm sorry, but I know we discussed this in my office. But then I was walking in Terminal 2. Kaya nila lahat ng domestic? Kasi,
hindi pa naman po lahat ng domestic, ma'am. Cebu Pacific will continue to be at
okay.
Terminal 3. But all the other domestic operations, we plan to operate it in Terminal 2. By doing that, ma'am, all the immigration officers assigned at Terminal 2 will now be assigned to both Terminals 1 and 3. So that's about 100 plus immigration officers that can augment the operations.
Focus now, they're spread out in three
different
So
terminals.
you're just going to make it 2 terminals.
So the second item is we're also planning to create another immigration lane specifically for OFWs, seniors, PWD, APEC, and diplomats in Terminal 3. Para iba ho ang processing nila kesa doon sa regular. So, nagko-construct na po kami ngayon. So, hopefully in the next 3 to 4 months, we should be able to implement that. No? So,
I saw it actually in the papers. Your assistant general manager was showing that area.
yes, ma'am. So, that's part of our initiatives. And then the third, ma'am, really is the use of the e-gates. Because in all other international airports, electronic gates is really the one that is being prioritized. No? We have electronic gates right now, but it's only used for arrival. We're not using e-gates for departures, whereas in other international airports, parang priority ho talaga, naka-e-gate siya. So we're discussing that with Commissioner Tansinko, kung paano ho natin mapapabilis yung paglagay ho ng e-gates sa mga departures ho natin. Kasi ngayon sa arrival,
Okay, but sir, that has to be connected with the immigration's watch list, huh? Anyway, this is actually a good technology, although there has to be some safeguards in place. So, yeah.
that's correct, ma'am. That's what we're going to discuss and coordinate with the Bureau of Immigration. So basically, one other thing that we're looking at, ma'am, is in Terminals 1 and 2 right now, the immigration counters are 4-man counters. Sa Terminal 3 po, 2-man counters lang siya. So what we're looking at to fast track and do a short-term increase in the number of officers is to convert that from 2-man to a 4-man counter.
That's good. Last suggestion also, since you're in charge of the general operations of the airport, please tell the airlines to fill their counters with representatives. Minsan yung ibang airline dyan, ang haba-haba ng pila, 4 lang yung available na nagaano, tapos di ba, hindi lang naman kasalanan ng gobyerno eh. Sila na naman, yung kanilang deployment ng kanilang staff, kulang din eh. So, yung suggestion ko nga, kung 4 lang o 5 lang yung nafe-fill nila or 3, tanggalan nyo sila ng counter. Bigay nyo sa ibang airline.
Yes, ma'am. On that front, ma'am, we're talking to the airlines and the ground handlers directly. But on the part of MIA, we're also pushing for the digitization project, so that you don't need a check-in agent to go through the whole process. Kasi in other airports po, you can check in online and then you can do a self-service bag drop. So you don't need a check-in agent to go through the process po. So we're issuing the terms of reference for that next month po.
Lastly, Mr. Chair, thank you. I'd like to ask Customs, with this flight that left, this chartered flight, were they able to check what was inside the luggages of those passengers? That's part of the protocol, right?
Who can answer?
Siyempre, kasi kami, dumadaan tayo sa X-ray, so...
Can you identify yourself? You're raising your hand, Mr.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I'm Attorney Manuel Sorbito, the Acting Chief of the Departure Operations Divisions of Customs.
Acting. Puro acting
sige po,
Sige, go ahead.
meron bang nakalista kung anong mga nandun?
Actually, Your Honor, we don't have X-ray machines uh, beside the aircraft during the actual.
Okay, so let me stop you there with the interest of time. Walang x-ray machine. So, ano yun? Visual inspection lang.
Visual and manual, ma'am.
O, so, ano yung report nung officer din doon?
Uh,
Alam mo yung sinasabi ko to kasi maraming pwedeng ilagay doon sa mga bag nila. Pwedeng pera, money laundering, ha? Gold. Gold. Ewan ko na. Basta, so, importante ito. So, the new aviation project, General Aviation Terminal, will have an x-ray machine, I assume.
Ma'am, our plan is to use the part of Terminal 3 where they can go through the process. So, meron na hong X-ray doon. That's for interterminal transfer. So, mabilis na rin naman po yung proseso.
Okay,
So,
so,
they'll be subjected, all the baggage and the passengers and their hand-carried baggage will be subjected to screening na po.
okay.
May
That's all
interject.
for now, actually,
So
Mr.
if
Chair.
it's
Thank you.
Terminal 3, it will take them 15 minutes to go to the plane side. Paano magta-travel yun ng golf cart na lang? Paano? Sasakay
Hindi
sa
naman
bus?
po, sir. We will still have a vehicle that will guide the passengers para po dun sa area kung saan nakapark yung eroplano. Mga 15
Malayo-layo kasi sabi kanina ni Mr. Pinpin, 15 minutes from Terminal 3 to the General Aviation Area. So kung ikaw ay pasahero, you need another 15 minutes para makarating doon sa eroplano. Pipila na yon. So siguro aralin nyo rin.
Yes, sir.
And as a follow-up to the questions of Senator Grace po, lahat tayo dumadaan sa mga toll gates, sa skyways. Minsan siguro yung ibang kababayan natin nakikinig ngayon, nag-iisip na rin, bakit yung atin mga immigration, dire-diretso po yung booth. Pwede naman po yung booth naka-oblique, naka-diagonal, mas marami pong ma-accommodate na booth. Pag diniretso niya, 6. Pag diniagonal yung konti, naka-oblique, siguro kasya ang siyam. So mas marami mga immigration officers ang magi-stamp. Marami makaka-accommodate na pasahero kaysa papilahin nyo. So makikita nyo sa airport natin, Terminal 2, Terminal 3, diretso. Hindi naman i-oblique na gano'n. Kita mo yung mga booth sa Skyway, nakatabingi na gano'n, di ba? Ang dami na-accommodate. So, it's a matter of architectural, realignment. Siguro, aralin niyo yan. DM, si Senator Estrada still
Thank you.
has some questions.
Just a follow-up question. No? Okay, ang pangalan yung nagsalita huli? Yeah. Attorney Sorbito?
Sorbito, sir.
Yeah. Sino ang mga nag-inspect manually ng mga baggages ng pasahero?
We have an assigned examiner for every
Yes.
special flight.
Okay.
And
Meron ba nakita ron sa mga bagahe?
none, Your Honor. Because absent our
Walang mga kontrabando?
X-ray machine
Yeah.
on the plane side, we usually use the X-ray machines deployed in the Delta Gate.
No, somehow you didn't have any X-ray machines, right?
Yes.
That's understandable. So, in-inspect nyo manually.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Didn't you frisk the passengers also?
No, Your Honor.
Huh?
No, Your Honor. Based on the narration of the assigned examiner.
Hindi kami, kasi pagka bumabiyahe kami, tinifrisk din kami kahit mga public officials kami, tinifrisk din kami. Bakit hindi nyo ginawa yun?
That was not done, Your Honor.
Excuse me?
That was not done, Your Honor. The frisking.
That was?
Not done, Your Honor.
Di ba protocol yun? Eh kung may mga laman mga bulsa nun, may baril yun, bakit hindi nyo ginawa? Naisa na naman tayo. That's SOP on your part. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Porkit ba mga foreigners to, foreign nationals to, hindi nyo pinifrisk? Eh kami nga, mga senador kami, in-inspection din yung katawan namin eh. Oh. Ba't di nyo magawa yun? You should have frisked them.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's all, Mr. Chair.